again. Thank you for being part of this journey. It's always a pleasure to know that you're on the other side, interacting and connecting with us. We'll be looking at maturing relationships, and we'll look at part 1 today. Someone says that a mature love says that I love you because I need you. However, mature love says I need you because I love you. Isn't this so strange that we tell people I love you because we have an agenda? But how different could that be if we speak it the other way? I need you because I love you. Even though we have differences, even though we are fighting, we are not seeing eye to eye. So verse 1 and 2, Paul says that as a prisoner of the Lord, then I urge you to live a life worthy of the calling you have received. Be completely humble, gentle, patient, bearing with one another in love. And I think all this speaks about the whole thing about valuing intentional living. I think if we are intentional in the things we do and how we relate with each other, even how we relate with God, we will make things very, very different. Intentional living demands that we know our fundamental beliefs and values and actively live life in line with those values. So we are intentional to match our daily walk with our values and beliefs. This calls for commitment, definitely. And intentional living says that if you are not happy with what you see, re-examine your values and your choices. Because when most of us become so unhappy in relationships, either with God or with other people, we tend to blame other people, but we never really look at our values and our choices. Because really that could be where the trouble is. See, with intentional living, our values and choices and commitments matter. You must commit to something that you are sure of. So I suggest this. You need to know your values. Chances are that your values, if they don't align with your partner's values, you're going to conflict. When your values don't align with God, you are going to conflict. See, I'm not saying that we need to be the same. No. I'm talking about the need to value diversity and choosing to celebrate your partner's differences while at the same time guarding what makes you you. Because sometimes we compromise you for many things and later we regret because we did so much compromise to the extent that we never actually are the people we thought we needed to be. So conflicting values can be a danger to any relationship. That's when we call people that they are a fake or they are a phony, they are not who they say they are. You see, a couple must be intentional on the values they hold because that is key in determining their character, in determining their walk. There's one person who said, when your values are clear to you, making decisions becomes easy. So as a single, think with me like this. If your values on the kind of a person you want to date are clear, it's most likely that you will not mess up when you date. But when your values are mixed up, it's most likely that you will compromise. So the second aspect here is to align your values with your mission. Why do you exist? What matters to you? See, most people get into relationships for wrong reasons, wrong motives, wrong values. See, when our foundation is wrong, we are bound to live in conflict. You remember the whole story about the foundation that was built of sand or on sand, and when the waves and the storms came, they washed it away. That's how people with shifting values are like. They don't really have a strong foundation. So if you don't stick to your values when you're being tested, they are not values, they are just hobbies. You need to actually know what you value and what is core, what is really core in those values. For example, do I value respect, and is respect core to me? So if a guy comes or a lady comes and they don't respect me, why should I waste my time? Because they don't respect who I am. If really respect is core to me. See, two important values about intentional living are: one, intentional living values integrity. Authenticity, honesty, trustworthiness are all very key to this journey of relating well with God and relating well with others. That's why the Bible says there, live a life worthy of your calling. Don't have mchanganyiko, don't have mix-up way of living life. Just be one, be single-minded. No need to be fake, no need for substitutes, no need for compromises. See, our choices determine our outcomes. So when you are living right, you have the right values in place, then your choices will most likely be right and your outcomes will be pleasing. The second important thing there is that intentional living values empathy. So be completely humble and gentle, patient, forbearing with one another in love. John Maxwell says that a dream requires a partner, and this partner is called commitment. You know, we all need to commit to something. And when we commit to empathize with others, it's most likely that we are going to give our best to them. So intentional living does not mean that we have everything we figured out in how we want to live life. We can be intentional about loving someone, but really, in the end, we have no choice in determining how they relate to us. And that's okay. But that does not mean that we compromise how we feel and what we hold to be true. Bottom two, what I'm saying here is that live life worthy of your calling. Live life that is not duplicity, that is not a fake, a phony. Relate to people in such a way that you actually understand them well and know that what they are projecting is actually who they are. So really, that's what it's all about in verse 1 and 2 of Ephesians 4. I would like to hear your comments on what we have talked about, and even if it's just your own observations and what you think this could have been, or send a question and we'll be glad to include it and talk about it. So keep engaged, keep connected. Love you. Bye-bye. Thank you for watching Open Hearts. What a pleasure. It's always a joy to know that you are on the other side of the link. But please, be sure to comment, be sure to like, and you know what? Subscribe too, and send it to a friend. And let's all make this a great family.